Hi, my name is Tomasz and you're watching Casual DIY channel. In today's video, we'll be checking out how my PVC flooring that I've got in my workshop will tackle spillages from different types of paint and even resin. Check out the video. Now, this video is actually a response to a lot of emails I've had and few comments that I did get on my video where I was actually installing my PVC flooring in the workshop to actually see how it will cope with different types of spillages, as in a way it's a perfect solution for a floor in a garage or in a workshop area, but how does it actually tackle any potential spillages that may happen in a workshop? So what exactly we're going to be using today? Let's start from the top. White emulsion, painting your walls. Next, you've got a primer in white color. It's a latex primer. Next, we've got quick drying wood stain. After that, we've got varnish. After that, chalk paint. And also, in my workshop, I obviously work with wood. So, we'll check out the wood glue. This is a PVA version of Gorilla Glue for wood. But that's not all. I also work with resin. So it will be quite interesting to see what happens if resin gets on my floor. Let's crack on with it then. So obviously I don't want to ruin my floor that I just put in a few weeks ago, but I do have some offcuts over here, as you can see, and I'm gonna mark them first, and then we're gonna put some of the products on these PVC tiles. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna start with the emulsion and the primer. Let's do the primer first. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just paint it on here. As you can see, it actually goes into the structure of the PVC tiles. Mine is skin, that's the name of it. So it's the most even out of all the options you can actually get. But with a spillage, it actually doesn't come like this. It's not painted on. You just get a lump of it from a tin or a can you've got that you knocked over. Okay, so let's do just that. Let's whack it on like so. There we go, like that. And I'm actually going to do exactly the same with the emulsion. So first of all, I'm gonna brush it on, paint it on like so. And now I'm just gonna whack a solid bit on it. There we go, like that. Okay, with that one out of the way, let's try the chalk paint and the wood stain. Let's go with the chalk paint first. Again, I'm just gonna brush it on. Probably won't be able to see much because it's a very similar color, but now I'm gonna make a big splash on it. There we go. Next, the wood stain. Brush it on. And we'll try to do a bigger splat with it. There we go, like that. Now we're going to do the varnish and the wood glue. Let's try the wood glue first. Nice bit, like so. And this one over here, I'm just going to rub it in a little bit. There we go. Let's rub this one in. Now the varnish. Obviously for the smallest tin I have left the biggest foam brush. Makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, let's try it somehow. Okay, like that. And now I'm going to try to make a splash. Let's get some more on it. There we go. Okay, so it's time for resin. Obviously I need to mix a batch and we'll put it on the PVC tile. I'm actually going to use some beautiful blue mica powder to go with it, just so it looks nice. Okay, with that mixed, let's whack it on our PVC tile. Okay, so in most cases with the resin, it's actually easier to remove it when it's fully cured. Now, if I try to remove the resin from the baking paper right now, it will just smear everything around it and you won't get much of it. If you leave it to set, it basically peels away. So I'm curious to see if the same thing will apply to the PVC tile flooring that I've got in the workshop. So for the resin, I'm gonna let it set for 24 hours. Lucky for you, thanks to the magic of the video, that will only take a second. But how about the rest of these? Usually, you make a spillage, you try to clean it up straight away. So that's what we're gonna do. Right, I'm gonna use some paper towels and I'm also gonna be using some wet wipes to try to clean it out. Now, unfortunately, I do not have any solvent-based paints or anything like that. They are all water-based, so they will hopefully come off with water. But I still want to check if, for example, the spirits that you use to remove any solvent-based paint will make any damage to these or discolor anything like that. So we'll check that out in a second as well. But hey, let's start maybe with the varnish. It actually removed the bulk of it. Well, as you can see, we do have a stain from the varnish. Bulk of it from the middle, it actually went away, but in between the nooks and crannies, it stayed. And this is the wet wipe, and it's not doing a lot. Let's try the wood glue. Wet wipe now. As you can see, it actually came off really nicely. No issues with that. Alright, so let's have a look at the wood stain and your chalk paint. Let's go for the wood stain first. And I have to say, it came off not too badly, but you can see the border on this one. A bit of a streak over here, but it's not too bad. And because of the wood stain, well, was dark initially, it actually blended in with the tile colour itself. But all in all, it came out quite alright. Okay, chalk paint. Yeah, the chalk paint definitely came off really nicely. No major issues there. And now we're going to have a look at the primer and the emulsion. Let's go for the emulsion first. This is already set, so that's not moving. Let's try to remove that as much as we can. There we go. It doesn't look good, guys. It doesn't look good. Wet wipes to the rescue. Let's see. Okay, it's coming off. Bit more work over this one. And look at that. It came off. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay, primer. This should be a lot tougher than the emulsion. So let's have a look. Yeah, this is set as well. Let's try to get as much as we can on this. And the wet wipes to the rescue. Let's have a look. Oh God, that's smearing away. I think it's coming off actually. And it came off as well. Some bits and pieces left, but they can be easily removed. Okay, that is not too bad at all. I have to say, I'm actually surprised how well the flooring tackle all these different types of paint, primer, wood stain, chalk paint, wood glue even. I was thinking that's going to be a problem, but it wasn't. The biggest problem is the varnish, and this varnish is water-based. So, solvent-based could be even worse. But let's give it another go. Let me have a look if I can scrub it off somehow. Nah, definitely not coming off. It's staying where it is. So, for sure, the varnish made the biggest mess so far. Obviously, we still got the resin to see, but we'll check that out in just a moment. Okay, so I've got something to try to tackle the varnish. Spirits. We'll see how that goes. I would use exactly the same thing to dissolve any polyurethane or any solvent-based paints. So, you never know, maybe it will help to remove this varnish as well. But what I really want to see, if it will do any harm to the flooring itself. Let's have a look. Okay, it's actually removing a bit of varnish. Let me try with the wet wipe now a little bit. Okay, it is actually coming off. Oh God, I hate the smell of this thing. I bet there's some of you that actually love it. Don't know why. Interesting fact, it managed to remove some of the varnish, but now I can see it's removing part of the flooring itself. So this is now black where it should be brown, but there is a bit of a sheen to the flooring, and now the sheen is absolutely gone. It's really matte, and yeah, I don't think solvent-based paint spillage, trying to remove it with a white spirit or anything like that, will be the greatest of ideas, as it will actually, by the looks of things, may damage your floor. Now I'm going to wait 24 hours for the resin to set, and I'll see you in just a second. Right then, so it's time to remove the resin from the floor tile. Just gonna try to peel it off. Let's see how that works. It's not actually coming off. Okay, it's time to use some brute force with a screwdriver. Let's see if I'm gonna be able to take off the resin. And as you can see, it's coming off. Yes, it's peeling away. Beautiful. Yeah, and there's actually no residue left on the floor tile. I'm really impressed with that. So look at that. I wasn't expecting that the resin will just peel away. Let me just show you in a close-up all the tiles so you can see it for yourself how they look now. So this one is the resin one. As you can see, no residue, no leftover resin at all. Let's go to the varnish and the wood glue. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it on the varnish, that the sheen is slightly smaller I hope you will, but there is no residue on the tile itself. I managed to wipe everything off it, so that's quite good. So emulsion and primer, check this out. Nothing at all, really good. Wood stain and chalk paint, same, no issues at all. I have to say, I wish I was sponsored by this company. I wished I was paid for this video, but I'm not. Okay, I've purchased the floor for my own money and there's no affiliated links or anything like that. But I'm genuinely impressed with how this floor managed to withstand all those spillages that happen in every single garage and workshop. It just happens. People are clumsy. The draft in the workshop happens and that's it, spillage, right? Sometimes it's a hassle to remove it off your garage floor or your workshop floor, and sometimes the stain will sit there for ages upon ages. Whereas with this floor, you've got the opportunity to actually clean it out, which is very, very good. It's definitely not the cheapest thing you can put on your floor in your workshop, but it proves a point that is solid quality. I'm going to link it down below in the description of where I actually got it from, but that doesn't mean you have to buy it from that company if you are in the market for a floor like this. Just check out the specs of this floor because it genuinely seems to be really good, and look for something similar in your country. Obviously I'm in Poland, something in the UK, in France and Germany. You will definitely find something similar in your own country. For sure, I actually found something on the UK's Amazon. I'm going to link that as well so you can check it out. More or less the prices are actually very, very similar as well. But the quality here, it's definitely there. But I have to say, I'm actually pleased with the results of these tests. And of course that they are not super substantial, and I have not used every possible substance there is in a workshop area, of course not. But these are the basics that you're gonna come across in most cases. If you enjoyed this little video, drop me that like button down below and consider subscribing to my channel as well. But for today guys, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Take care.